A very good morning to you. And I think we've just mentioned what that sentence was, but just take us back to what we heard the last time Henri van Breda was in court, when he was, well, the conviction and the sentence in total. What exactly he's fighting today?
Well, moments after Judge Siraj Desai handed down that triple life sentence as well as 12 months for attempting to murder his sister Henri van Breda, Henri van Breda's legal counsel stood up and indicated that they will be applying for leave to appeal of that conviction and sentence. Now, essentially today the court will hear an argument presented by the legal counsel giving reasons as to why Judge Siraj Desai should consider a leave to appeal. And obviously the reasoning would be that any other judge might come to a different conclusion than Judge Siraj Desai based on all the evidence that was presented in court. Things like the blood spatter, things like the report from the DNA expert, which were major important details of evidence, will obviously have to be considered possibly by a different judge. Now, if Judge Siraj Desai grants this leave to appeal, this matter will go to the Supreme Court of Appeal to be heard at that particular court. And obviously, once again, Henri van Breda's conviction and sentence, the triple murder conviction, as well as attempted murder, and also defeating the ends of justice, will have to be reviewed at that court.
Now, we know also, Artie, that there was no, like you say, no physical evidence found to indicate that anyone else had been inside the house, but we know that a social worker who's been counselling him before this conviction and sentence had a lot to say. She believes he's not guilty. Any idea what she actually had to say?
Well, the social worker who sat with Henri van Breda prior to his conviction and sentence for a good few months had quite intimate sessions with him. Her purpose was basically to provide reasoning to the court as to what possible sentence Henri van Breda should face, and also think about the reintegration and rehabilitation of Van Breda into society. And shockingly, she came to the conclusion, and I must add, this is someone who has years of experience in the field of rehabilitation of offenders, particularly young offenders. She said that there were no warning signs, no childhood problems, no childhood violence against his siblings or against any people around him, to point to the fact that Henri van Breda could have committed these violent crimes, axing his parents to death and attempting to murder his sister. So the social worker says, based on research, based on other cases that she has seen with young offenders, she personally does not believe that he committed this crime. She also goes into quite detail as to the relationship he had with his family. It was a very loving family, a loving and very protective relationship with his sibling Henri van Breda, who is the only survivor who cannot remember the attack and was unable to testify at this trial.
Hi, Artie. Are we expecting Henri van Breda in court today?
Well, it's not required for him to be in court for an appeal, but we'll have to see at just after 10 o'clock if he will make an appearance. Generally, the standing rule is that the accused does not have to appear for that appeal, but maybe it might be a surprise appearance for Henri van Breda, and hopefully we'll be able to get a chance to see whether his demeanour has changed and possibly if prison has had any impact on him and his health or his appearance.
All right, thanks very much for that, Artie Nasi, watching that case for us in the